Hi all, this is Skate, and today I have two replays, both by the same person, and both in tier 9 lightly armoured medium tanks. The first replay is in a Leopard PTA, and the second replay is in a Type 61. These replays have been sent to me by Habo Gunner, who quite clearly loves his tier 9 lightly armoured tanks, because he plays them very, very well. They may have no armour at all, for that matter, but they have great guns and they are very, very mobile. And watching these replays, I would genuinely say Habo Gunner knows exactly how to use them. He went straight off and doing a spotting run down the bottom left channel and then accompanied his team, and you'll see he's gone up to spot the enemy team now. Now before the action happens and the battle gets in, there is something I want to point out. Habo doesn't run a premium account, and as a result he cuts back on things such as provisions. You'll notice from the bottom of the screen he is running no provisions at all. He runs one provision on his Type 61 in the next video. Now a lot of us, including myself, are very much of the opinion you are hindered if you don't run everything else, all the provisions, all the equipment you can. I'm guilty of this, I really am. And if you're not running all of these provisions, etc., you are at a big loss compared to other tanks on the enemy team who will be running it. Well, Habo Gunner is here to prove us wrong. And so far in this replay, I think he's got one, maybe two shots off into that M103, but you'll notice he is constantly using the dunes to go around. And obviously he's doing this to cover himself from enemies being spotted, and keeping distance between him and the enemy, because he's very mobile, he can get to places they're not expecting him to, and he has a fantastic gun for sniping. And so far in this game, the enemy M103 has been knocked out, but yet their T30 on the team has been knocked out as well. So it's equal playing so far, but he has found himself an AMX CDC on low health, and he is going for the kill on that one. But he does ask for help purely because if you look at the mini-map, he's over on this flank alone, and many of the Reds were spotted. But that was a great shot by there. But because he doesn't know what's over by his spawn, you'll see he's back straight up, waiting a little bit for his camo to reset before shifting off. Something you don't see people do often. I don't do it that often, I should do really. But he's waited there for his camo to reset before pulling off, so they don't know what direction he's going, and obviously he's off on his travels now, back to the other side where he has fire support from his team. Now the IS-3 defender is going to take the right flank, and Habo Gunner is letting him know he's going to accompany him. Like I said, most of the tanks when they were last spotted are nearer their spawn over in the dunes, so they've got a good idea where they think they are. And as a result, they are pushing around what would be the flank to obviously try and pincer them in. Sadly, by this point, they are short on tanks. They have two left in the town, and it's these two coming round on the flank. And being as there's only one big lumbering monster who is spotted, they're going to work on that one. And that is a very good tank to be taking out, providing you're not blocked by your teammate. I don't think he's done it on purpose, in all fairness. So you'll see what Habo Gunner is doing. While the attention is on the IS-3 defender, he's going to try and push around and get a side shot into the Jagdtiger. As he is doing this though, he spots a T-69 coming towards him, so you'll notice he pulls up over the left ridge, going for the Jagdtiger. As he does, an IS-3 pops up as well. So he's taken one shot in the side, but it does mean he gets to take him out. Sadly, he misaligns that one, so he is kind of in a situation now where they are going to come and push him. If he didn't hit that dead tank, then obviously he would have got over the dune and been able to get away and use his mobility. He is now in a situation where he has two tanks pushing him. He's trying to use cover, but it does look like they are pretty much taking away his health. And this T-69 makes me laugh. He doesn't have the ammo capacity to take the Leopard out, yet for some reason he decided to YOLO past him while taking his clip out. If he stayed behind his friendly IS-3, well, he'd still be alive. But They are now in a 2-on-1 situation against this IS-3, which allows him to get around the flank while the IS-3 is distracted by the IS-3 defender. And it is just these two left now in a 2-on-3 situation. By the look of it, they are going to take this IS-3 out just before his two friendly T-44s come around the corner, and you'll see he is bailing out straight away, but he has taken a shot from one of them, gets a return shot into the other one, and is trying to use the dunes to protect himself again. He is using his friendly IS-3 defender as bait, and rightly so as well. That IS-3 defender is heavily armoured, he is not. The IS-3 defender, if he was facing the right tank, in theory, would be able to absorb some of the shots, as where the Leo can't. And you can see the Leo's idea is to come around and take out the T-44 on the lowest health. Sadly, they have bunched back up, and obviously they're working down the defender together. Once they've taken out that defender, if they do take it out in time, there it is, they're obviously now going to turn their attention towards Habbo in his Leopard. And now this is ridiculously neck and neck, and he bounces one of the T-44 shots, gets one in return, and if he could get away at this point in time, there's a chance he could do it, but getting away from a T-44 is just sadly not going to happen. So however tight this is, the T-44 wins it, but the T-44 also had a cracking game as well. So big respect to Habbo, he did 5,147 damage. Even though he's not running premium, he still made 16,000, and you'll see Black Hawk, the T-44 on the enemy team there, got himself a mastery badge as well. So sadly a heartbreaking defeat for Habbo, but he deserves that win in my opinion. But then again, the T-44 played just as good, and I was going to cut this out, but I liked the fact that rather than complain or rage or anything like that, it's nice to see that the IS-3 defender has contacted him to say, sorry man, they were faster, respect to him, and he also contacted the T-44 to say, nice game, well played. So far, in my opinion, well, it's not in my opinion, it's a fact, Habbo is actually shaping up to be a genuinely decent player. He's a nice guy, he's contacting to say, well, good game, etc, etc. He doesn't run a premium, he doesn't run provisions, and he still plays well. And I don't know if you noticed, but he started that previous game with 12 heat rounds in the tank. It was prior to the premium ammo nerf, that replay, but he ended the game with 12 premium rounds as well. He didn't fire one for the duration of that entire battle. I'm going to assume, and it is just an assumption, buddy, if you are watching the video, please clarify in the comments, but I'm going to assume you reduce the amount of premium you fire pretty much, obviously to make sure you're making credits in the battle. But the fact he's not firing any premium in that previous one just proved to me that there is a good level of skill in this player. And I know I've mentioned it a few times in this video, I just think it's quite refreshing and nice to see. But anyway, you'll notice he's using his Type 61 to go straight up to this bush, and he is using it to spot anything that comes around the ridge, while remaining covered. Obviously, he doesn't have the gun depression to shoot from here. In fact, the only thing that probably does is a Steramil or a Dicamax, but he was using it to spot, and he had no intention of firing from that location. Obviously, nothing spotted. There is a T-54 waiting by there as well to spot. You can see his team on the minimap are now pushing that way, being as they haven't spotted any. Well, they've spotted now, but he was watching this flank just in case they did come around here. So far, though, doesn't look like they are. It looks like they are slowly making their way up the hill. So Habbo can either wait here just in case, or obviously the best bet's going to be make a move and help your team over by there, because it doesn't look like anything is coming this direction. And he has just lost a team player. The Conqueror on the enemy team has just knocked out the E50 on his team. What's your thoughts on the Type 61, by the way, guys? I'm curious on this one, because you don't see it often in battle. One of those tanks, for some reason, doesn't get a lot of love. I personally bloody love this thing. I think it's a fantastic gun. But again, it's just one of those things you don't see often. It's like a happy hybrid, isn't it, between Leopard PTA and a Centurion 7.1. If you asked me to describe this tank, I'd say it was literally half and half of those two tanks. You've got bad armor, but yeah, you've got great gun depression, you've got amazing gun accuracy, slightly better DPM than you have on the Centurion. It's a little bit slow, just like a Centurion 7.1, but overall I think it's a really, really good tank. And it was by far one of my favourite tier 9 medium tanks to play. That's irrelevant right now though. Tangent again. You'll see what he is doing. He's using it as a support tank at the moment. He's lightly armoured, so if he goes gun-ho, face first, that Death Star would literally eat him alive. So he is literally just using it as a support tank. He's not taking advantage of the mobility at the moment. He's taking advantage of the great accuracy at range, and he is taking advantage of the gun depression. I mean, he's looking for a shot. Is he going to get one on? No, he's not going to get that one. So what's he looking for here then? No, I would. No, don't do it. Just don't. He's looking directly at you. It's if you're in a Leo, a Type 61, anything lightly armored like that, as soon as you see a Jaegeru pointing at you, every single one of the drivers do the same thing. It's just, nope, bye-bye. Because you're just going to get ruined for 90% of your health with HE. So yeah, he's obviously done the right thing there. He still has full health, and he is still acting like a brilliant support tank. Some may say he's camping at the back. He's using it as a support tank, I would say. And he is working very, very well with that AMX by there. It's just them two left now, though, against 5 reds. AMX very wisely lets him know he is on the reload, so you'll see that he is pushing up to try and get some shots in, to make sure nobody pushes the AMX. Hopefully, they haven't sussed onto the fact he is on a reload, otherwise he would be obliterated. Because obviously there is still a Jaegeru, an E5, a Conqueror, I can't see what else. Oh, there we are, it was an AMX 5120, and a full health T95. So, AMX is pushing, it is time he flanks around as well. Last thing they want to do is separate at this point in time. And the AMX obviously knows exactly what he's doing. They've seen the T95 and he is getting the hell out of there. Obviously he's a lot quicker, so hopefully he should be able to get away from those two, because that is 2 big damn guns pointing at him. And again, fair play to that AMX 50B. He's taken out the E5 on low health, and he just took out the Jaegeru on low health. The Conqueror has now been taken out. And you'll notice, or you may have noticed, auto-aim flicking on and off constantly at the bottom. When he is on the move, he'll flick his auto-aim on, and when he is not, you'll notice him flick it off. I like that. It's pretty impressive, actually, and it's nice to see someone using that. Now, you'll notice there as well, he had a great shot on the track on the move. If he had the auto-aim on at that point, he wouldn't have been able to do that. But that was quite clearly a joint effort between the Type 61 and the AMX 50B, and I got a feeling the damage results are going to show that. 5,500, and then bet you weren't expecting that. the AMX 50B on his team also did 5,500 damage. Games like that, I think, are easily the most rewarding. He's not in a platoon, he's pretty much did the equivalent of platooning up with someone in the middle of the battle. If it wasn't for the AMX 50B, I don't think that would have been the same result. That's not taking anything away from that game, but that was one hell of a good team play by those two tanks. So, Habbo Gunner, thank you very much for sending those through. Those through? Let's try again. Thank you very much for sending those two through to me. I genuinely enjoyed watching those two. They were refreshing, it was nice to see team play, they were just good replays. If anyone else would like to send replays through, I still have an inbox which I need to run through because I have plenty more subscriber replays, but keep them coming and I will make sure I am doing as many as I can. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.